when I look at how I saw change previously, I mean, I used to talk at career conferences about career change and these huge changes that I'd seen in my life. So probably the biggest changes I went through in my life, I went through before I'd even come across the principles. But those changes felt very different. They felt harder. They felt a little bit like I was white knuckling my way through them. The first really big one, leaving surgery back in 2003, leaving a vocational career that I trained for and practiced for, I don't know how long it is, how long I was in the trade for, enough years to get my surgical qualifications, and then leaving that to go and do something different, which you weren't supposed to be able to do. That change was absolutely terrifying. That was absolutely terrifying, and I really did white knuckle my way through that. I didn't have any clue what I was doing. Not like I do now either. But and it was really scary. It was really scary, and I think that when I'd experienced that change and I look back on it, it was like, oh, that all turned out all right, didn't it? That all turned out all right. But I think I figured that I'd just got lucky. I think I figured that it could have all gone completely wrong and my life could have completely fallen apart. I could have ended up living in a van down by the river, which is something that I actually aspire to these days. And I was just, I struck lucky that I managed it. I struck lucky that I managed to get into health informatics like I'd wanted to. And then other changes happened, and they didn't seem quite as hard because things generally seemed to turn out all right. So I stopped being quite as scared of change. And I think now I see change in a completely different way. Like, we think it's this thing. We see it as like this solid object that we have to sort of wrestle and we have to like make big decisions and change things ourselves, and things might turn out well or they might turn out badly, and there's a lot riding on it. And I just don't think it works like that. I think change is just happening all the time. I mean, just take a moment, really. Take a moment and reflect on some of the big changes that have happened. How involved in those do you honestly think you were? Or did they not just happen? And you kind of noticed that they'd happened afterwards? Funny old thing, change. It's not like you can stop change from happening. Change is happening all the time, and it's got very, very little, if anything, to do with us.